YouTube, it's the morning. Ah! Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the car to defrost, so I figured I might as well batter a video out right now. So I was talking about, was it last year? It might have been the year before, when I started doing my Trade Tuesday thing. I was going to aim for a bass and a guitar that I wanted from my two months of YouTube money, which is 70 quid or something, 65 quid. And I thought, oh, I could get a Westone Thunder bass. Quite fancy one of them. I want one of them. That'd be a good one to trade up to. And instead, I managed to get for this Aria Pro Laser. And my thinking was, it pretty much is a Thunder bass, isn't it? It's Matsumoku, made in 1985. This is a Thunder bass, Matsumoku, made in 1983. Both kind of look the same. So how different are they? Because I was playing it last night and I started thinking, wow, they're not really the same at all. So even if we go unplugged, still got the same 34-inch scale. This one has a brass saddles and a brass nut. No tone. So, I mean, if you don't know Westone Thunder, make amazing basses and guitars. Did Westone at this point. It's quite an influential bass because you could pick up for the same price or a little bit more than you could for pretty much the cheapest bass guitar you could buy, and you could get a pro level bass for not that much more. So they totally destroyed the world. Someone, I think it was Jez, used to work. Someone, one of my folk who watches me in the live stream, used to work in a guitar shop when the Westones first came out, the Paduac and the Thunder, and it was like he said, it was just embarrassing because they were trying to sell like a Gibson Les Paul or whatever for like 8 times the price of the Westones, and the Westones were kind of as good. It was like, that's a direct quote. He said it was really quite embarrassing, especially when the Paduac came out. It was like 120 quid, and at that point you could buy guitars for 120 quid, but they were shite. You know, they were just like, you know, plastic bridges and not more of a guitar-shaped object rather than actually something you could ever learn. You know, action like this, things aren't adjustable, tuners that just snap when you turn them, you know, that sort of thing. And then for an extra 20 quid or something, you started getting the Westones, and they were coming in with, I think they actually the Japanese did a similar thing with cars. Did they not, partly in the 70s, like, if it was a day like today when it was cold, basically, lots of people just didn't go to work because their cars wouldn't start because they were crap. And then there was the Datsun something, which was quite a basic car, and it worked. It worked when it was raining and stuff like that, and it was like, I think they kind of did that a little bit. So on this one does have an active circuit in it, but I'm not going to use it for the purposes of this video. So I'm using this, which is, it's not really a P-bass pickup, but it sort of is. Sort of. Yeah, so this is the same 32-inch scale, and when you play it, even unplugged, it sounds nothing like that one. Which is I thought was kind of weird. Maybe it sounds the same in the video. So there's a tone at off. Tone all the way off. Maybe it doesn't actually sound that different. It sounds more different unplugged when you amplify it up. It doesn't sound any. that malarkey. The active boost. So, I mean, why so different? Build quality is pretty much the same. When you play the two of these back to back, I think this was maybe twice as much as that to buy. That's a Thunder 1. There was a Thunder 2 and a Thunder 3. I think this was not. So that would be the sort of entry level bass. I don't think this was an entry level bass. I think there was probably this is a little bit higher up in the range, which is. In some respects, you know, the more you pay, the better you get, sort of thing. You get what you pay for, which doesn't necessarily work all the time, but it kind of does to a degree. But someone's actually asking if they could buy this off me, and I was thinking, well, I've got the Thunder, I might be no, this one's getting kept. Even though I don't really like black guitars if I can avoid them, but. So it's the old thing about the P bass. It's like I always say, it's like, yeah, I just need a P bass. I don't need anything else. It's just gravy on top of it. But they do sound different. I suppose neither of these are technically P basses, although you take away the jazz bass pickup, kind of a P bass in it. So the unplugged thing I noticed last night, I didn't actually try plugging them in. And this one has the cheap strings on it. The £7 a set strings. This one I think has got older, but these have got string coloured thread on the end of them, which probably means they're more expensive. Yeah, this is definitely much softer. But it doesn't really sound any different when you plug it in there, does it? So does the brass hardware make any difference? I don't know. Maybe that's why it sounds a bit softer, possibly. This is just like it's brass, but it's just like a P bass bridge, whereas this one has one of your fancy schmancy ones, a little bit more to it, higher mass. Yeah. So interesting thing with the active circuit as well. I mean, you get this is a Thunder 1. You get a Thunder 1A and a 2A. The A just means it's got an active circuit, and from what I can gather, it's the same active circuit that's in the Aria, like a 2 9-volt battery one. It's kind of weird because it's apparently they're pure Hungarian batteries, which I've not noticed. I've not played it enough to ever have to actually change the batteries in it. But it's kind of just it just sounds better. But if you're playing the bass, you can make it sound better just by turning it up a bit. Which is kind of what the active EQ seems to be doing. It just seems to be louder is better. So you want it louder. It's just that when you get to the point of, you know, the light fittings are falling off the walls and stuff like that when you've got it too loud. That sounded way better than it did when it was down there. Weird, eh? Anyhow, you may have gathered this is a bit of a time saving video, seeing as I don't know what time we'll be back at tonight, so I might not have time to do a video. I might go over to Scott's on my way home, take my stuff with me. Rock on! Catch you later on! And So a Thunder Bass isn't the same as an Aria Pro that looks the same. Is this Thunder Bass the same as the Thunder Bass that came off next to it? I would have a tendency to think yes, because the Matsumoku, the Japanese, were ridiculously good at their quality control. You don't get the same level of, you know, I mean, we always say that about all guitars. You know, it's like if you take 10 off the assembly line, 1 or 2 of them will be pure amazing, 1 or 2 of them will be bit shit, the rest will be good sort of thing. I don't think that happens the same way. I think with the Matsumoku, I think if you made a mess of something, you were kind of held responsible for it. These were sort of hand built by one person at a time. So if it got to the end of the assembly line and something was wrong with it, it went back to going, operator number 45, Steve, you messed up, no wages this week, kind of thing. I don't know, or maybe they shot them or something. I don't think they were quite as brutal as that, but you know what I mean. So, bass on, catch you later.